If you don't let me be the Sandman, I'm gonna come in there, I'm gonna just right across you. And leave my fucking tiger alone, bitch. Let's jump into this week's news bits. You know, those smaller stories of the week that don't necessarily deserve their own full-on story, but we still don't want to forget about them. We want to talk about these things. It's some juicy goodness. And these things, Nick does not know what I'm about to spring on him. But we're going to just, I can't really remember. I've got them all listed here. I was actually doing my due diligence and ahead of my game this week. So let's jump into our first one, and that is that the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, the Amazon show that is coming here shortly, according to the showrunner, will not be influenced by modern day politics. Now, in the lead up to this show, we've been hearing an awful lot about how it may be being influenced by not just politics, but kind of 2022 and 2020, you know, this day and age, modern day shit, just stuff. Politics and other things. People have been throwing a lot of shade, as the cool kids say nowadays, towards the show, saying that that's what it's going to be and they're ruining Tolkien's universe. Yeah. Nobody's seen it yet. Well, I think people have actually seen it now. They saw it last night. But most people have not seen it yet, so nobody knows. There have been some concerning things we've seen, just through pictures and such, but we don't really know. I think the first official, like, for the public to see it, viewing is tonight. Am I right?
Yeah, Cinemark's doing like a special thing where you get to watch the first 2 episodes for free, and you get $10 concession, which means you get a free small popcorn at the concession for $10.
Man, I hate that I missed that, but unfortunately I did.
I mean, you can. I have 2 tickets. You're more than welcome to come down to Miami.
You know, I think I got something to do. I think I have to cook dinner, unfortunately. But now I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. The first 3 films, which I consider one big movie, I have long said is my favorite film ever made. Favorite series, favorite film. So you would think I'd be really looking forward to this series. I'm honestly kind of scared because of some of the things we've seen, and I'm just wondering, what are they going to do to this thing? Anything that's made nowadays, I'm kind of scared of, because it's made by like a big corporation. I'm like, oh shit, what are they going to do? Are they going to cram messages down our throat and all this and that? I get enough of that everywhere I go. Please don't fuck up the Tolkien universe. We'll find out. I don't know. What about you, Nick? What do you think about this showrunner saying it's not going to be influenced by modern day politics? Do you think that there's any truth to that? Do you think from what you've seen of the show that it is going to be full of all that shit like people have been saying? Or do you think it's been overblown and just it's going to be Lord of the Rings? What do you think? What do you think of the thing overall?
There is a little bit of politicking in Lord of the Rings, a little bit, not like a lot. Like there is like the whole in Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, when they ban the Fellowship or whatever.
Well, yeah,
there's a little bit
politics,
but it's not.
But it's not.
But it's not like
it's
not like
tied
Trump
to a certain
or
time.
Biden. You know, it's not like we're searching for blah blah blah. We're searching for blah 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 L's computer or some shit. It's just like if there's some intrigue. Like I don't mind politics in a show because there is some intrigue to it. But the whole point of Lord of the Rings is about a fucking ring. And the ring is a fucking powerful entity. And though I want to see more than the ring itself, that's what it's always been about. It's about controlling populations and humans, or like different cultures and different things. Mm-hmm. But it's never really been about like here's a system of government and like they're going to, cause one side to control another side. I don't need that in Lord of the Rings. I want a fantasy. I don't. If we want politics, go watch Game of Thrones. That's politics. That's politics at its most fraught or whatever.
And Lord of the Rings, well, the Tolkien universe. We refer to it as Lord of the Rings. It's not just Lord of the Rings. The Tolkien universe definitely does have politics in it, but it's not our politics. It's political intrigue and stuff with it, kind of like Game of Thrones does. Game of Thrones does, for the most part. It's very part of that universe. It's not taking like modern day or even like an algorithm for some other time in our history. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's about that world. And Lord of the Rings Tolkien does have that in his universe, but that's how it's remained timeless, because it's not referencing something that's like in our actual world. It's all fresh and all new. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm kind of worried that since it does have, I'm worried of what they're gonna do with that in this version. Who knows? I think it premieres officially is tonight, but officially on Amazon. What is it, like this Friday or something like that, or Thursday?
No, it premieres tomorrow.
Oh, so it's going to theaters and okay. Well, I will watch it.
Yeah, they're
tomorrow,
doing like
then.
a special one night to get. What they're doing is they're trying to amp up the series that they spent $500 million on to make people watch this thing, because if the series sucks, but if they can get people to watch this, even like a few hours early, it's worth it to them. So
Sure. Well, I'll definitely watch it tomorrow when it comes out, or late tonight, whenever it is, and
yeah,
I guess I know where everybody's going to get the first 2 episodes. I think within the first 2 episodes, I'll be able to tell if it's going to have a lot of that shit in it, and if it doesn't, great. I'm looking. Then I'll just be able to look at it and say, okay, is it going to be any good? Is this going to be The Hobbit, or is this going to be Lord of the Rings? We'll find out. I don't know, ladies and gents. But the showrunner, I don't have their name down here, I didn't really care, is saying that apparently, no, it's not going to have modern day politics in it. However, admittedly, we've heard that from studios before, that it's not going to have this and that in it, and what do you know, it does at the end of the day.
damn you, George Lucas.
Yeah, but so we'll see here soon. All right, next, Xbox Game Pass. I like Xbox Game Pass. You like Xbox Game Pass, right? Or Game
Dude.
Pass. I guess they dropped the... There is still an Xbox Game Pass, but there's just Game Pass, because there's Xbox and PC, and just... They want you in Game Pass over there at Microsoft. Well, we reported, a few weeks, maybe a month or so ago, that the family plan was being tested out in Ireland and somewhere else. I can't remember. Some other country other than America. They're testing out the family plan. And just here recently, the Xbox Game Pass friends and family branding has surfaced. It was a leak from, I'm not sure who, but they found this logo that pretty much, it's just the Xbox Game Pass logo, and under it, it says friends and family. Why this is a thing is because we've been hearing the term family plan or whatever all this time, but now they're saying that, oh, no, it could be your friends too. And apparently, going off of how it's working over in Ireland and whatever the other country was that they're testing this in right now, as long as you're within the same country, they give no fucks what 5 people are using this plan. And apparently over there also, it costs, I think it's $5 or $10 more than the Ultimate. There's Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is, I think, $15 a month. And the family and friends plan is just, it's either $5 or $10. It's right in, it's there. It's not more than $10, which was kind of in that sweet spot. I think I said that, yeah, if they price this thing at around 20, 25 maybe, depending on how much freedom they offer you, that could work. And if they're saying that they don't give a shit, they don't care, you can be friends, it can be whoever, give your stuff out to whoever you want, as long as you pay this this extra few dollars, I'm cool with that. I feel like, yeah, that will work. I think it's 5 extra, right? Or at least in the testing phase, you can give it out to 5 extra people, or 5 extra accounts can use your Game Pass service. So those of you out there that have been on the fence about Game Pass, because you don't have to have an Xbox to use it. There's TVs out there. There's Samsung TVs and I think LG TVs now that have it built in, where all you need is a controller and you can play games through the cloud and all that. There's a lot of different ways to get Game Pass at this point. It's not just Xbox. So those of you that have been interested in it, this is quite this is a very enticing deal right here. And it kind of breaks down some of those boundaries. I mean, this is kind of what they've been doing. People have been doing this with Netflix for years, but Netflix hasn't been cool with it. And recently, Netflix has started to try and crack down on it a lot more. So it's pretty neat to see a company come out and be like, "Hey, we don't give a fuck. Just pay this few extra dollars and you can do it." And I think that they're gonna see success with that, because I think if Netflix just came up and said, "Hey, we don't care if you share it with people outside your house. Here's just a premium for it. It's not too crazy. It's just a few extra dollars." Most people, for the convenience, are willing to do that. Convenience can get people to pay a lot. I mean, look at pirating music. Pirating music went way down when they started streaming music and having these streaming plans like through Zune originally, and then Apple started doing it, and all these other, where it's so easy. It's just so convenient to go in there and just click on this thing and get the music. It's kind of like, I don't really want to go searching and download on like LimeWire and Napster and all that, when it's just, I pay like a really small amount and I get it right there. So hopefully...
Remember...
What's up?
No, I say, you remember the days of bootlegging where you would like go to I don't know, a shady person or shady dealer or whatever, and they would have like a movie that was like recorded in theaters, and now it's just like everything's everywhere. Like you can go and click on a button, and there it is for you.
There was a gas station down the street from where I used to live, and the guy, you go to the counter, and like he'd offer you cam videos of like movies that were out. I remember it was like 300 was one of them. He's like, my friend, have you seen the 300? My friend, I have it right here. $5. You can have the 300. Like he was always trying to sell me like bootleg copies of movies and stuff. I was like, no man, I'm good, thanks. But I always thought that was pretty funny. When I worked in the hotel business, there used to be a guy who came in with a bunch of bootleg stuff. He didn't just have movies; he had movies. He was like the guy on Friday, I think it was. He'd come up, he'd be like, "I got CDs, DVDs, movies," but he also had like Louis Vuitton bags, but they weren't really Louis Vuitton. All that stuff. He came into the lobby and tried to sell that shit to people. So yeah, those days are. I mean, I'm not gonna say totally gone. Go over to China; that shit's rampant. But that's how you make it. That's how you beat piracy. Make it convenient.
Yeah.
Make it fucking convenient. And I'm glad to see that that's what they're doing here. Alrighty. Breaking Bad. I think that's a show a lot of people know. And also the follow-up, which I have not seen. I've seen Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul, which is coming to an end now. So since Better Call Saul is coming to an end. Yeah, Better Saul Call.
That's the next sequel. Better Saul Call.
Since it is either coming to an end or has just come to an end, I think it just came to an end. People are asking its creator, Vince Gilligan, what's next? And Vince Gilligan has said that his next show, which he is working on a show, will be sci-fi. And it will not be about an anti-hero. That's really all we have on it. That's why it's here in the news bits and not its own story. But apparently, if you've liked that storytelling style of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and he was involved in some other show too. I can't remember, but
X-Files.
Oh yeah, X-Files. He did mention He mentioned X-Files. He said he was wanting to get back to those X-Files roots and do some stuff like that.
That's
so
cool.
It's not going to be. I don't think. He did say it's going to take place on another world, or the way he's real cagey with his wording. But he made it sound as if it is going to take place on another world, but it is going to be grounded. He said much like his X-Files days. So he will be getting back to those X-Files roots, not necessarily doing X-Files, but that kind of more grounded sci-fi, if you will. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't seen Better Call Saul, but I know it's pretty much, it's a Breaking Bad spinoff. So I've heard great things about it.
Yeah. There's parts where it's actually better than Breaking Bad, but I'm not fully finished. I have the last season, like one more episode, the 5th season to finish, but it like Vince Gilligan is like one of the best working creators in Hollywood right now. So I can't wait for his new series.
My oldest daughter watches Better Call Saul, and she raves about it. I haven't watched it yet, but Breaking Bad I loved. I thought Breaking Bad was awesome. I thought it had a great end. That was just a great show from beginning to end, I thought. So I will check out Better Call Saul eventually. But yeah, I'm a big sci-fi fan. It's probably my favorite overall genre. So to see this great type of storytelling going to sci-fi, I'm really excited about. He did, however, say he is not totally against visiting the Breaking Bad universe again. Mainly if this new venture doesn't work out, he's got to have something to fall back on. So I was like, hey, you know what? At least he's being real about it. He pretty much said, yeah, if this shit don't work out, yeah, you'll see more Breaking Bad universe stuff. So either way, we're getting more of that good, rich Breaking Bad-esque storytelling from Mr. Gilligan, but we're going to be getting some sci-fi soon. No word on what the story is, where it's going. He said he is shopping it around right now, but I imagine that every studio out there is going to be willing to jump on, and they're going to want to get on that quickly. I think he's been working with AMC. Isn't that where Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is?
Yeah.
So I would think that AMC would be stupid for not jumping on that, but we'll see. Maybe they ain't got sci-fi costs money, so maybe they ain't got the money for it. Speaking of sci-fi, Nick, have you watched Picard, the Star Trek show?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
And we'll never watch it.
Oh,
no, I heard so many terrible things about it. So I love Star Trek: Next Generation. I love it a lot. I think it's like one of the best sci-fi shows ever created. I've heard nothing but bad things about Picard. So you know what? I have no interest in it. I don't want to see a ruined version of Picard. I love Patrick Stewart. Yeah, no.
Well, I've watched every single show of Star Trek, from the original, all the movies, all the way up to, was it Enterprise? That was the prequel one, right?
Yeah, Enterprise was the prequel. And now they have one that's based off what's his face,
Discovery,
the guy who,
and yeah, they got. I haven't seen any of those. I have not seen the more recent ones, but I had seen all the ones up to or after, through Enterprise. Now everything that came after that, I've seen the movies, the J.J. Abrams movies and whatnot, but I'm a Star Trek fan as well, and a Star Wars fan. Craziness, I know, but I am a Star Trek fan. Star Trek: The Next Generation, probably hands down, is the best Star Trek show in my opinion.
Dude.
Started out rough, admittedly. Season 1 is rough.
When they got rid of Picard's hair, it was like all uphill from there.
Yeah.
So,
but season 1's rough. It's not bad, but it's comparably speaking, it's rough. But man, that is a great show. Well, it's funny you mentioned Star Trek: The Next Generation and talking about Picard, because Picard is going into its third and final season, apparently. Picard Season 3 is starting soon. Well, we don't know in exactly what capacity, but Tasha Yar is said to be returning for Picard Season 3. And some are saying that she will be one of the main antagonists or the main villains. Maybe not the main villain, but she is going to be one of them. I do recall Tasha Yar was Denise Crosby. She died. She was the, I think, security chief or something like that. She died from that big slug monster in Season 1. She was one of the ones that a lot of people hated to see her go. They had the big eulogy. She showed up a few other times. She had like an alternate universe sister or something like that. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah. I just looked her up. Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very popular character that was not on the show for very long, and like people wanted to keep her around. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched Star Trek TNG when it first came out. I wasn't as into it then, but I did watch it a lot when it first came out. Not a lot on TV back when I was a kid, and I didn't like her character. I did not like Tasha Yar. So when she died, I was like, okay, I'm good. But people have been like saying they wanted her back for a long time, so much so that she did come back to the show, but as a different character. I want to say an alternate universe version or sister or something like that. She even ended up being like a Romulan at one point. And that may be who she's coming back as in Picard. We don't know, but she is coming back in more than just a cameo. She will be returning for Picard Season 3. It's really all we got on it. For those of you out there... What's that?
And I have to say, this feels like Cobra Kai. We were talking about Cobra Kai earlier because I got the next season to watch, which I can't talk about. But this feels like the Cobra Kai seasons where they bring back like Terry Silver and Chosen from like the 2 sequels. That's what this feels like. It feels like they're desperate to bring back somebody that really wasn't popular, to bring him, to make him popular, because last season, as Terry Silver is actually pretty decent as a character in the series. So that's what it feels like.
Well, they're also, it was already confirmed apparently, because I have not seen Picard and I don't follow the show. Not say I won't watch it eventually, but I haven't watched it. I love Patrick Stewart, but just haven't watched it. They are apparently, it was already announced that much of the TNG team, the Next Generation crew, Jonathan Frakes, I can't remember everybody's name right now, but a lot of the people from that show are coming back to this season in some capacity. I don't know what. I don't know where their characters lay within this timeline or what's going on with the show, but they apparently are coming back to reprise their roles in some capacity during this farewell Season 3. Because I imagine that this is going to be the last Star Trek: The Next Generation linked show we get in the Star Trek universe ever. I mean, there's not going to... everybody figured it was all done, but then they brought Picard back, so I doubt we're going to see any more of the TNG team after this, so I guess they're trying to go all out, which could be cool. I mean, that could actually make me get to want to watch it. I didn't like Tasha Yar, but bringing all this back, I mean, it could be neat. I might actually check out Season 1 and see what I think of it at some point. I've heard very mixed things about it, much like you said, but Star Trek fans, you're going to get some... They're going to go out with it. They're trying to go out with a bang with Picard Season 3 coming soon, just FYI. All right, so... Harry Potter. You like Harry Potter, Nick?
I love Harry Potter.
You love Harry Potter, okay. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, she's had some controversy over the past few years. I'm not here to talk about that controversy. She has her thoughts on things, and I do think that from what I've read, I don't know enough about the situation to really comment much. I do think that some of the things she said have been twisted a bit, but then I think some of the shit she said was kind of twisted itself. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not here to judge that woman. It's not my place to. She has had some controversy. Let's just go with that. Well, they had
just a little bit,
20th anniversary of Hogwarts, the cast reunion on HBO Max earlier this year. I think right there at the beginning of the year. And she was a no-show. She didn't show up. Everyone assumed that it was because HBO Max, Warner, whoever said, no, you're not. We don't want you here, and you can't be there. Apparently, that is not the case. We are finding out that she has just put out why J.K. Rowling didn't attend the 20th anniversary, because she said she didn't want to. She said she was offered an opportunity to come on, and apparently this was corroborated by someone else that, they asked her to come, and she decided that the wording is interesting, because she says that this seemed like it was more about the books, or more about the films than the books, which it obviously was. And she said, I was more a part of the book series. I appreciate the films. Awesome. I was involved in them, but, it just didn't seem like I needed to be there. What it seemed like to me was she was like, I don't feel like putting up with that shit, because it's going to be a non-stop shit show up here and stuff. So regardless of what you think of her or not, she said to herself, it ain't worth it. I'm not going. I think the best of people sometimes, and I shouldn't. It gets me in trouble. I'd like to think that she was saying, you know what? This is a celebration of these films and just this work and everything. If I go there, that is going to be what takes over the whole thing. And I don't want to do that. Let's let them celebrate that, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if that's where she was coming from, but I would like to think that that's what it was. She just said in her words, nope, I don't feel as if I was needed there. It wasn't worth it. So not really a lot to talk about there, I guess. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that, without getting too deep into that whole situation with her, what are your thoughts? Do you think that there's any credence to this? Do you think what do you think's going on here?
She may be telling the truth, but she's like the creator. She's literally the creator of Harry Potter. I don't know what she's talking about. It's like me saying, oh, it's the 25th anniversary of the Fifth Dimension podcast. I don't want to be on because I don't feel like I want to take away from you and Triv on the podcast. I'm like, that it doesn't make any sense. You are literally the mind of Harry Potter, saying that you don't want to be on it because you want to focus on the movies. They're gonna have plenty to talk about with the people of the movies. Like, she's still important to it, even though she says some stupid shit. It's just, I don't know.
But yeah, and the one thing that does lead a little bit of credence to it for me is that she didn't have a hand in writing the films. I'm sure she was a consultant on some or all of them, but she didn't have as much of a hand in the films, of course, because they're adaptations of her work. But she does have writing credit, and she did have a hand in the Fantastic Beasts films. That might tell us something. I don't know, but she did show up to the premiere of the latest the Dumbledore Secrets of Dumbledore film. She was there, shown on the red carpet. She didn't really talk to anybody, but she showed up, posed for some pictures, and then walked in. So she did show up for that, and she was more involved in that. So I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I guess the point of this story is that, no, she was not told she couldn't come. She decided herself not to come. What her end of the day reasoning was for that, I don't know. But honestly, and I hate to say this, because like I said, I don't know enough about the situation to really comment on it in any way. It was probably for the best, because it would have, her showing up would have taken all the thunder away from this thing. I didn't really watch this. I didn't care that much. I like Harry Potter, but I didn't care to see a reunion. But I feel like whatever thunder it had, that would have taken, it would have been all about that. So, probably best that she didn't show up. And that, I don't know what is going on with her and what all that, if it was justified, if it's not, if it's been blown out of proportion. But it sucks that somebody who is involved, is, like you said, the father or mother of this work, just the sheer fact of them showing up can ruin something like that. And I don't know, maybe I'm getting too deep into it now. But anyway, she didn't go because she decided not to. So there's that. Put that to rest. Speaking of somebody else that is marred in controversy, and there was a public spectacle of them. Chris Rock. We've heard of Chris Rock. Sure you know Chris Rock. It was the slap heard across the world.
Yeah. He's the end of the joke for what the five fingers say to the face.
Yeah. It was the slap that ended the war in the Ukraine. Ooh, hot take. Yeah. It didn't end the war, honestly. Just it ended everybody talking about it. Let's just say that. Just say how finicky we are here talking about bullshit. But whatever. It was, Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith at this year's Oscars. Everybody saw it. If you didn't see it when it happened, you saw it afterwards. You saw a meme of it, that's for sure. Well, he apparently was asked to come back for the 2023 Oscars after that happened, and he said, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, now he's going to get flat. They're just going to have a murderer's row of people just slapping him. He's like, slap, slap, slap. It's like, it's going to be like Airplane.
That scene from...
Airplane.
Is it Airplane? No, the newer movie that he was in. That he was the movie with Chris Rock, and Bernie Mac gets off the train, head of state.
Oh yeah,
I
head
think.
of the state. Yeah,
then he comes in and he starts slapping everybody. Yeah, there's actually been a meme of Will Smith doing that to people, saying it was Will Smith after the Oscars. But anyway, he was asked to host the 2023 Oscars, and apparently he will not be doing so. He said he likened it to, and I didn't get this reference as much because I guess maybe I just don't know enough about my OJ trial, but he likened it to Anna Nicole Smith returning to the restaurant where she left her glasses the night she got murdered. I don't know. I guess that would be maybe is that a situation to where if she had done that she wouldn't have gotten murdered? I don't know. I didn't know that part about the OJ trial. I mean, I was there when OJ, not there, but I was alive and seeing that stuff on the news when it happened. But whatever. But Chris Rock, he ain't doing it. He said, nope, not interested. Not interested in putting myself up there again, getting beat up. I doubt that would happen again, but I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. All right. Well, I mean, I guess. Do you think that this is a loss to the Oscars, Nick? Do you think that they're taking a loss here with Chris Rock not being a part of 2023?
No, not at all.
Oscars
have much more problems than fucking Chris Rock not being on the show.
I think it is. That's the most people have talked about the Oscars in 15 years.
That's true.
They're like, please come back. We will pay 3 people to come up there and slap your ass, and we'll pay you extra money. Jesus Christ. Please come back. Please, we will pay you how much you want. Because ain't nobody talked about the fucking Oscars, really. Outside of like groups like ours, nobody gave a shit about the Oscars for at least 15 years. Chris Rock gets slapped, and holy shit, it's a thing. So yeah, they want his ass back. They want him up there. Anyway... The Sandman. We talked about that brief. Well, we've actually talked about it a few times. It's a popular Netflix show right now. You said you watched a little bit of it, weren't really feeling it. Right. I watched a bit more of it. I liked it. What I saw had its issues, but I thought, okay, I want to see where this is going. Still haven't finished it, but I do plan on finishing it. Well, there's been a lot of Sandman news coming out here recently. And that is because this show they've been trying to get the show made since the 90s. And apparently there was like this whole script that was put out there that was so ridiculous. It's from the guy who tried to make the Superman movie with Kevin Smith and the giant spiders. And apparently there was a giant spider in that Sandman version as well. Just FYI.
Oh, Jesus.
But there was, I don't know if it was that version, but there was a version they were trying to get made. And apparently Neil Gaiman got called and they said, hey, we got this version. We're working on Sandman. There's somebody who is requesting to play Sandman. Who do you think, say, circa 1995, 6, 7, 8, who would you say that would be famous then, would be calling them up, calling the studio saying, I've got to play the Sandman, please, vying for it hardcore?
Trying to think of Johnny Lee Miller, Skeet Ulrich, whoever was at Empire Records. I'm just kind of spitballing here.
No, you're way off. You're way off.
Charlie Sheen.
Let me give you a rendition of how it went. This person called him and said, I can't remember, was it Neil? Yeah, we'll go with Neil. Let's just say this person called Neil Gaiman, said, hey Neil, oop, I really want to play this part. I gotta be Sandman. I think I can do it. We get all the little boys and girls in there. They can be with me and Sandman. I'll put them to sleep. They'll go to sleep in Neverland in my house.
Oh my God.
That's right, mofos. Michael Jackson apparently was vying hard.
Mike Tyson there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, I had to think about this.
No, there wasn't enough lisp in it. Even though, hey Neil, this is Mike. I wanna if you don't let me be the Sandman, I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna just right across you and leave my fucking tiger alone, bitch. Anyway, Michael Jackson, the other Mike. The other Iron Mike.
Michael Jackson. Holy shit.
Michael Jackson was apparently going hard for this shit. Would not leave them alone. Blowing up their phone saying, I want to be Sandman. He wanted to play Morbius. Morpheus, not Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Morbius.
He wanted to play Morpheus, like, hard. And he was, like, really pushing it. But fortunately, and the funny thing is they weren't opposed to it. They weren't saying, no, Michael Jackson. They were saying, maybe. But maybe unfortunately, I don't know. That could have been interesting, but we'll just say unfortunately, the show was, or the adaptation rather, was they put the kibosh on it, and we did not ever get it. It wasn't just because of Michael Jackson. It was because whatever the screenplay, all that, it just didn't work out. Because that thing's been in purgatory, production hell for decades. Yeah, that would be. Oh my God! If I had thought of that, I would have put a video together. He bursts in with like sand flies out, and he goes. That would have been.
Do you think he
amazing.
thought the Sandman was like a thing that would like save children or something like that, like Little Nemo's Slumberland or whatever?
The Sandman. The Sandman puts all the little boys and girls to sleep. That could be me. I'll go and put him in bed and say, good night, little Billy. I don't know why I was turning into that guy, the old guy from fucking Family Guy all of a sudden.
Yeah, we got the
Chris.
whistle there. God damn.
Well, yeah.
Talk about a show that would have insisted upon itself.
I want to see that, really. I mean, we're never going to, obviously, but I would love to have seen that. But Michael Jackson wanted to be Sandman. So imagine that show that Netflix has right now, but Michael Jackson in the main role instead of whatever that guy's name is. So it could have been. That could have been what happened in an alternate universe somewhere. In the multiverse, Michael Jackson is Sandman. Just keep that in mind. Alrighty. One last thing here on our news bits for the day, and we're going to talk about probably not one last time, let's be real, but it should be one last time because they need to shut their fucking doors and stop letting shit out the door. Information, that's Warner Brothers. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers Discovery for just a second. This is just a small little story that could develop into a very large thing, and that is that Legendary Pictures could be leaving Warner Brothers. Now, some of you that aren't as in the know might be like, okay, so that's big for Warner Brothers. Legendary Pictures has been developing. They are a partner with Warner Brothers. They are not part of Warner Brothers. They have a contract where their films, they make the movies. Warner Brothers gives them some extra money, financing, and things like that, and then Warner Brothers releases the movies. Some of their movies would be Godzilla vs. Kong, one of the highest rated or one of the highest grossing films of last year. Or was that this year? Last year.
Last year. Yeah.
Dune, one of the highest rated movies last year, also did well financially. They've done the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. All three of them. Did they have a part in The Batman? I think they do. I think they did. I'm not sure, but they definitely did the Christopher Nolan ones.
Yeah.
I don't have a list in front of me, but Legendary has made a lot of very well-received movies. Now, not everything has been. They've had some slip-ups, but their track record, especially as of late, has been very good, and their films all go to Warner Brothers. Well, they were not happy with how Warner Brothers put everything day and date last year, especially...
That's an understatement.
Yeah, especially... They took them to court. Especially with Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong. And their contract is running out. So now, they got options. Legendary is on the table, and you best believe it is other studios are going to be vying for them. Apparently, Paramount and Sony are the main contenders. And Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is trying to keep them, by the way. But Paramount and Sony are putting together, they're trying to woo them over there. I guess my question is where this could go. I don't want to talk too much on it. Do you think, how damaging to Warner Brothers could it be if Legendary goes over anywhere? If they just leave Warner Brothers, regardless of where they go, they'll be successful, I think, wherever they go. But how damaging do you think it will be? And do you think that David Zaslav, because it is under new management, all that stuff that happened was before Zaslav and co. So it is under new management. They could use that and say, hey, guys, just give us a chance. How damaging do you think it could be if they leave? And do you think that Warner Brothers can actually keep them around?
Honestly, I think the more damaging thing happened is when Christopher Nolan left Warner Brothers, because he's been with Warner Brothers since like his second movie or whatever. Honestly, studio or companies like this leave all the time, so it won't be that damaging. Warner Brothers has way more problems right now than just Legendary leaving them. Legendary, the big thing is,
that's the thing. It's one more problem. They need some wins.
Yeah, no, I know, but the problem is, like, I can't remember if Legendary owns the rights to Godzilla vs Kong, because I know there's an Apple TV Plus series coming, but I honestly, like, look at like DreamWorks went to like Paramount or some shit. They like switched from like Universal to Paramount. I mean, this shit happens all the time. So this is the biggest thing about this is just what happened last year with they weren't even told that the Godzilla vs Kong was going straight to HBO Max in theaters. It was like they never said anything about it. It's another thing to put a black eye on Warner Brothers. You know, Warner Brothers at this point is just I've said it before. I'm putting faith into Warner Brothers on the simple fact that they're trying to correct everything to that the last company AT&T did to them, but I don't know. I don't want to.
I mean, they're like that fast food restaurant that's been around in a town for like decades, and everybody hates because it just sucks. But everybody goes there because, you know, it's just been there so long, and they're there. But now they got out on their like marquee under new management. It's like, is that going to make a difference? We don't know. We've seen this before, Warner Brothers. We've seen this before, Taco Bell. You know, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this could be bad for them. I mean, like I said, their biggest hits of last year were Legendary Pictures movies. It just is what it is. The Batman, I can't remember if the Batman is through Legendary or not. I think it is. I think Legendary had something to do with that. I can't remember. But I know they definitely had something to do with Godzilla and Kong. And now they are working on sequels to both of those big movies from last year that are contracted through Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers will get them. But maybe Dune 2 is a big, huge thing, and there's more Dune sequels. They might not be through Warner Brothers, because I'm not sure who owns those rights. Is it Legendary? Is it Warner Brothers? I don't know. Legendary is the one who makes the movies. They just take extra financing from Warner Brothers for them to distribute them. So, I mean, Warner Brothers is still
Legendary. So they did not produce the Batman.
Okay. Well, you know, there's that, I guess. But who knows when the Batman 2 is coming out? This will be years away, they've already said. But I do think that this would be... it hurt. I don't think it's going to, like, put Warner Brothers is going to be around for a while. They ain't going nowhere. But it is going to be, once again, one more black eye. One more thing they have to come back from. So I do think that they need to do... David Zaslav needs to get in there and just do whatever he needs to do to keep Legendary there. Because Legendary, they have a proven track record at this point to where they get some... I mean, regardless if you think they're good movies or not, they are successful movies. And that's what Warner Brothers needs, is successful movies. Not good movies, successful movies. That is just the business of it all. Okie dokie, everybody. That is this week's news bits. A little bit longer than I planned, but let us know what you thought about any of those stories. Are you looking forward to the Rings of Power? You looking forward to getting you some Game Pass now that the family can get in on it too? I'm excited about that. A bunch of fucking Xboxes in my house. Are you looking forward to Tasha Yar? Her epic return? Chris Rock, not at the Oscars 2023? Oh no, Michael Jackson is Sandman in the alternate multiverse? I'm really looking forward to that one. And Legendary Pictures could be saying, fuck you, Warner Brothers. Any of those stories you want to talk about, let us know in the comments below.